Hello everyone. So I thought I'd put together a video to show you how some of the software projects have been progressing. This FPV scanner I did a video about a little while ago. If you haven't seen that one, there's a link below. But in summary, this is a bit of software that connects to a HackRF One and scans specifically the raceband frequencies, and it's a great tool for race directors to see which frequencies are being transmitted on, get an understanding of rough power between different quadcopters, and just make sure that everybody's experience is maximized in case there's any interference or um, any channels that are stepping, any transmitters that are stepping on one another. So I'll give you a quick rundown of this bit of software and then also introduce you to a bit of sister software um, which can be used alongside. So this is the interface. When you first hit scan, it does a scan across a spectrum, and you can see here this is the average power, nothing plugged in. So as you expect, I'm going to save that one just to give us a baseline to refer to. And then I'm going to plug in a quadcopter and then scan again. And here you can see that we are transmitting on RaceBand 1. And this program has made an estimate at the power as well. And you can see here the majority of the power is in RaceBand 1. You can see some of the frequencies just either side that are also sensitive. I could go and now change channel on the quadcopter and then scan again. And you can see now how it is on RaceBand 2. So let's just change those. And things that are interesting to note is you can see here how between the two transmitted signatures, you can see these sort of harmonics either side. These are sort of things you're looking at. This program has made an estimate of the band that is basically being interfered with. I've called it a leak band, and a rough estimate of the power that's leaking from one band to another. Uh, the power is just an estimate, so you'll need to tweak this according to your particular setup. Improvements that I've made since this program has started is I have tapped into some of the additional features that the HackRF One offers. Under advanced settings, you're able to get in there and actually play with some of the amplifiers and gains and things like that to give you much more detail over the measured signature. There's also some cosmetic things in there which allow you to just plot some prettier plots and keep on top of it. And just to remind you, once you've gathered these sweeps, you can then actually export them to a temporary file. And then once you load up your program again next time, you can just hit the load and it brings back in the data that you had originally. Let me just show you RaceBand 8 just for good measure, and then we'll move on to the next bit of software. And there it is. So you can see those frequencies come through. Let me just bring up the other ones just to show you. So there you go. Okay, so here's the other bit of software that I mentioned before. So it's very similar to the scanner. However, this is in a waterfall mode, and it was based on some suggestions by others that it'd be quite nice to see what's going on in real time. So when you start the scan, it has the live values being populated in this bottom graph, an average actually of the live values. And then on the plot above, it's basically showing you the history of the power using a heat map where the brighter intensity is more power. And for my particular setup at the moment, and with these antennas and the environment I'm in, some interesting features in here. You can see some peaks between 5.6 and 5.7 gigahertz, and this is related to some Wi-Fi that's in the area. Now, if I um, plug in a quadcopter, I'll just clear the plot just to make it restart, and then you can see once it's booted up, um, the area under RaceBand 8 now becomes hot where we are transmitting. And in this bit of software, it can detect which band is being transmitted on, and it'll highlight the frequency at the top, or the RaceBand at the top, should I say, and then also the number that have surpassed the threshold. If I now move to another RaceBand, let's just try that one. You can see here how I've now moved to RaceBand 5, and that's showing that there is a transmission on RaceBand 5, highlighting it there. And that is basically it, but it's a very useful tool for seeing some of the potential issues with the background, and then also how different frequencies might interfere with one another. In this version, there's a few little debugging codes here, but also a number of advanced options that allow you to really tap into the power of the HackRF One, particularly the amplifiers and different gains that you can use to um, get some resolution over the frequencies that you are interested in. So yeah, that's how it's progressing. If you are interested to give this bit of software a try, then please reach out to me. I'll add some details in the description to this video. I also have an additional unit that I have made up, which was part of testing, which I have available, which I would also be willing to sell to a club if they're interested. Hopefully, you can see it's a pretty useful tool, particularly for those organisers of big events, just to make sure that their pilots get a good experience when they come and fly with them. Yeah, there we go. Thank you very much.